Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today we are outside. It is just beautiful in Colorado and I'm trying to take advantage of the weather and show you a different type of scenery around this little homestead of ours. Today we are talking about items that you can stockpile that are not food. We talk about food a lot on the channel, but I wanted to show you some other items that you can also be stockpiling and still keep it on a budget. So hi, if you are new here, my name is Tori. We do prepared life on a budget here in Northern Colorado. I am a wife, mother of almost 3, and a newly stay-at-home mom. I was in education for a very long time, and I have since resigned and have stayed home to educate our own children and really start living off of the land in rural Colorado. We still live in a town, so I have neighbors, as you can see, but we're trying to do everything we can to become more self-sustainable. So if you like that kind of thing, definitely hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and without further ado, let's get into this list. I'm going to start out by saying this list will be in the description box for you. If you want to screenshot any of these items, absolutely feel free. I've been keeping these lists at either 5 to 10 items because I think that's the most attainable. If you hear my kids playing in the background, I do want to make that disclaimer as well, but we just couldn't not be outside today. I'm going to continue to do videos like this where I sit down and chat with you about being prepared on a budget. I of course love to share my recipes every now and again, and I still will be doing that, but I am leaning more towards a prepper content channel here on this channel. If you like the more vlog related content, budget items, things of that nature, definitely check out my second channel linked in the description box down below. You can find all my information down there. Okay, so number 1 on this list is going to be water. I will preach it till forever, but honestly, I recently got a comment on an Instagram reel and it was, imagine being so afraid that you need to stock water, which I bust out laughing, and I know a lot of us will too. Yeah, you need to stock water for a variety of reasons. I have a video all about how you can do that, but even picking up a small jug of water every week makes a huge difference. And if you've been here for a while, I apologize for continuing to say this, but I feel like it's so important and not a lot of people talk about it, or maybe not a lot of people take it seriously. But I said in the last video, Philadelphia just had a huge water contamination issue. There was the Ohio train derailment, and if you keep your eyes and ears out, there are many more accidents that are causing issues to waterways and all of the water that we drink. So if you have not already, definitely stock up on water and ways to filter your water. There are simple ways like a life straw. You can even find little drops to put in contaminated water to hopefully make it a little better. Although I would suggest just trying to get bottled water, just gallons of water. A friend on here has found water in metal containers. There are many ways to do this. You can collect rainwater if it's legal. Again, I have a video on this, so I'm not going to go in too much depth here, but this is definitely on the supply list, and a lot of people might be thinking that's food related, but I don't think it is, because we need water for a lot of different things, and we can't have contaminated water. I think we can all agree. Number 2 on the list is medical supplies, and I'm going to just flat out say it can be a pharmaceutical or it can be a more holistic option. I care for more holistic options, but I do understand there's a time and a place for pharmaceuticals. I understand there are big issues with some diseases that we may have, and it is necessary to have those. So if you can stock up on them in a safe way without them expiring, I definitely recommend that. If you are going to stock up on a pain reliever, I would do Advil, not the generic kind. That is just my preference though. I have a video all about my herbal apothecary and herbs that I grow in my garden to tend to any issues that we may have. But of course, there are a lot of items that you can just order online. You can go to your local apothecary. Believe it or not, a lot of towns do have them. They may be called something else, so look for something medicinal or holistic. There are many ways to solve the issues that a lot of us are facing due to so many reasons, contaminants in our food, issues from work-related causes, and things of that nature. So if you are inclined, definitely research ways to naturally solve some of these issues. And then along with medical supplies, I would recommend stocking up on a wound stopper, something to clot blood. Of course, we do yarrow powder, but my husband is in law enforcement. He carries his bag with him, and there are different kits out there that you can find to stop bleeding. I would recommend grabbing a tourniquet as well and learning how to use that effectively. I thought I knew what I was doing, but my husband came home with his first aid training. Yes, police officers go through training, contrary to popular belief. And he goes through training, you know, maybe twice a month, 3 times a month, all about different things to help people out. So I am fortunate enough to have that upfront education, but I thought I knew how to do a tourniquet. Turns out I was not doing it right. I couldn't have saved a life. I'm not saying I could, but definitely research and test it out as best as you can before performing some of these things. And then along the lines of bleeding, definitely find a clean way to dress that wound and a clean way to actually clean that wound in the event of an emergency. I'm sure I'm forgetting something on the medical supply list, but if you know of anything, definitely drop it down in the comments. It is so helpful to have a positive community down there. So if you're new here, introduce yourself, tell us your experience if you're comfortable, and let us know how far along you are on your prepping journey. We all like to do that as well. Next on the list is going to be alternative fuel options, and I definitely am guilty. I don't have enough. There are different things that you can stockpile to produce heat, to be able to power different items, to be able to cook. There's a lot that goes along with this section, but start with propane, little things of propane, large things of propane, especially now. I would definitely stock up on that. Definitely stock up on things for a wood stove, a pellet stove, a charcoal grill, something simple like that. But all of these supplies will help you in the long run in the event of an emergency, because a lot of people might be panicking and going to the store if they fear their food or shelter or heating is threatened. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind. If you're not stocking up now and you think this lifestyle is crazy, definitely think about what happens when something is taken from you. Most of the general public is definitely going to panic, feel threatened, and go to the nearest store to try and solve the problem. And that's the problem that we saw during the pandemic. A lot of the prices skyrocketed. We're seeing that as a result of everything right now, and a lot of us can't afford it, myself included. So that is something to keep in mind. If you're finding a sale on charcoal, propane, even, I don't know, firewood, definitely look into just trying to grab a bunch. We've recently chopped down all of our dead trees, and we've saved the lumber for different things. We weren't going to save the lumber, and I said, you know what? We need to, and I'm so happy that we did. Next on the list is going to be things to power certain items, electronics that you may have, and I preach about it on the channel all the time. Fort Patriots is awesome. They sent over a few things for me to have, but I will admit it's just not enough. So I've been on the hunt for different solar powered options. That will get you through a few days, but if we're talking about long-term outages or long-term threats to your home, I would absolutely look into alternative ways to power what you need. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about necessities. You may need a light source like a flashlight, so go ahead and grab those batteries. Of course, they're going to be expensive. I've talked about it before. Don't go out and buy a huge bulk stock of them unless they're on a crazy sale. Just accumulate a little at a time, and that's really what keeps our little collection here sustainable and what allows us to do this on one income. And then another thing that I really don't talk about a lot because it seems to be controversial, but if you are familiar with firearms, if you keep them in your home, in my mind, a firearm is powered by ammo, so it's important to keep ammo on hand. So if you can find ammo on the cheap, definitely stock up on that, but it's not something that I talk about a lot because people get really threatened by it. If you are comfortable owning a firearm and using it, which I feel like everybody should, especially now in this day and age, definitely grab some ammo. Take a class if you're, confused about it. But I will say this, I will never let anybody take away the right to defend myself or my family. I a lot of the time am alone, and I've hesitated to even say that, but I have a way to protect myself and my family, and I think it is your right to do the same. So if you're comfortable with it, definitely look into buying some ammo and take a class. And even if you're an expert, keep taking classes. If you're not comfortable with a firearm, find another way to defend yourself and stock up on that item. If a knife is your weapon of choice, find a strong one, find a brand you like, and keep 1 or 2 on you at all times. You never know what's going to happen. I always say it, but it will never hurt to have something on you. And then last but not least on this list is going to be hygiene products. I decided I was just going to end it with something simple and easy that you can stock up on in the event of an emergency. Am I worried about showering for 3 days? No, probably not. I am, a mom of almost 3, so a shower is a rare thing around these parts, but definitely keep those things in mind. Just your basics: deodorant, toothpaste, shampoo. I will say I have Dr. Bronner's on hand. It's like an 18-in-1 Castile soap, and it can be used for laundry detergent, shampoo. If you need conditioner as a female or male, definitely stock up on that too. But Dr. Bronner's is great because it's an 18-in-1, so I just have 1 bottle of that in the event of an emergency. They even make little travel packs, and I keep those in our bug out bags as well. Toothpaste would be helpful, but there are many ways to make your own with items that you may have. So could use charcoal powder in that. I've made my own toothpaste before. It's really not the best. I haven't been in an emergency situation where I've been without it, but these are just options. I do recommend looking into ways that you can make some of these items on your own. I have a video on that. If you're curious, let me know, or if you just want a quick recipe, type it down in the comment box and I will help you out with that. But I do strongly believe that hygiene is important, and in a long-term scenario, you definitely want to keep up on that, especially for children, just in case of any uncleanliness that leads to disease. So that's something that you should keep in the back of your mind. And if you can stock up, stock up. I know at the Dollar Tree they have, your Suave shampoos and conditioners, and my husband lives off of that kind of thing, so we always have that on hand as well. Alrighty, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. I wanted to keep it sweet and simple, and from here on out until this baby comes, that's how it's going to be on the channel. So if you are new here, again, we would love it if you hit that subscribe button. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment box below. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative, and I will see you soon for a brand new video. Bye, y'all.